My name's Lancaster and I'm based in Newcastle upon Tyne. I make paintings and drawings based on archives of found anonymous snapshots. I see these as inert images that I can then reanimate through the painting process. I began actually by painting snapshots of my own family because I have a twin sister and I didn't know which twin was me in the photographs, which I found really unnerving. And so it kind of led me to be interested in this idea of these quite normal, banal images, but they can house something that's quite strange or otherworldly. I went from using my own snapshots to then using the snapshots of strangers, because then I found it put me in the same position as the viewer, to then think about how I can use the painting process to manipulate what the viewer might think of the image or how it may be interpreted. In some ways I kind of feel a bit like a medium who's transposing these from this unknown source. It plays with the power balance of the image as well, because it becomes from being a small, kind of pitiful object that feels quite vulnerable to being quite empowered and being quite physical and solid. The work in the British Council collection is called Betty Lee, one of the first set of larger paintings that I made. It's quite an interesting work for me in terms of it combining text and image. People write on the backs of photographs, solidifying the memory. It's kind of quite intimate as well, because quite often it'll be someone's name, like say Betty Lee. You don't know who Betty Lee is. All you do know is that someone called Betty Lee might or might not be in that photograph. I think also there's the contrast between what could be read as sort of sentimental writing on the photograph and the way the image is painted. The painting was made over the course of about 2 days. I find this is a good way of not overworking the image, because I like to leave it in a state that feels a bit awkward or unfinished. When I first started making paintings from photographs, they were sort of 1-to-1 scale, and more recently I've begun making more sort of monumental scale canvases. It's a lot more focused on my experience of the translation of the image, and less on the kind of end result being a sort of descriptive translation of the photograph. It also brings out the process a lot more, because you can see there's a lot more room to try different things out on the canvas, different techniques. You can leave it feeling quite raw, so that when you step back it resolves into an image, but up close it feels very chaotic and sort of visceral and physical. Very often I use large brushes, tools, squeegees and things like that as a way of getting wide marks or different kinds of marks. Very often the paint's very runny as well, so there's a speed to the paintings. They're kind of almost out of control with the drips, and I'm trying to sort of catch the form before it drips away. What determines the sort of end point of the painting is when I feel it's hovering between two states. The image is there and it's quite readable, but it's kind of at this point of uncertainty where different people can read different things into it.